Before the sewage is let off into the water body, it is treated. Green revolution was achieved by the use of artificial fertilizers, pesticides and high yielding compounds. What are the limitations? The agrochemicals cause soil and water pollution and reduce the yield in long run. GMO are used to make the crops more tolerant to abiotic stresses like cold, heat, drought and salt concentration of the soil. What is informatics? Bioinformatics, application of information science in the field of biology. Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another chapter and a very interesting chapter of your second PU syllabus called Biotechnology and its applications. So in the previous chapter we studied about biotechnology principles and processes. As we know, the techniques that are applied in the field of biotechnology has wide applications and has benefited the human mankind in many ways. As we all know that gone are those days where we had an idea that we need to sow seed to get a soil. So in the field of particularly in the process of tissue culture, you can take cell from any part of a plant body and grow it into nutrient medium and develop into an undifferentiated mass of cells called callus. So that is what has been done in the field of technology. So the techniques that are applied in the process of biotechnology has wide applications. So what are the applications of biotechnology and how are they useful to human mankind? That is what we are going to study in this particular chapter called Biotechnology and its applications. So moving on, here you can see the beautiful picture here which shows the wide applications of biotechnology. Now let us understand what are the areas in which the techniques or the concepts of biotechnology are applied to produce a product which is going to help the human mankind. So the factors that include in the applications of biotechnology. At this point of time where we all are facing the coronavirus pandemic, we all are waiting for a vaccine to be developed against this coronavirus. But what is the methodology that is applied in the making of this vaccine for coronavirus? Is the technology that is being used or it is being applied to produce a vaccine. So imagine the modern techniques that need to be implemented to produce a product which is going to help human mankind. So as you know, the science and technology has been improved to a greater extent, and the technology has definitely given a very good reward to the human mankind by producing products which are more beneficial to human mankind, particularly in the field of medicine, right? So as I said, in the field of medicine, particularly at this point of time where we all are eagerly waiting for the vaccine to be developed against this coronavirus pandemic, and hope so the day will come soon and we can get rid of this coronavirus. Now, what are the applications of biotechnology then? Particularly in the field of medicines, like we come across therapeutics, that is the making of the medicines, the drugs, as I said, drugs or medicines. So what are the techniques that are applied in the field of therapeutics? Then diagnostic is, of course, as we know, there are many different kinds of diseases, but diagnosing the disease is very, very important. Like we have this MMR, then we have this CT scanning. So all these are the technologies which have been developed to diagnose a particular disease. So particularly in the field of medicine, the concepts of biotechnology are applied particularly in the field of diagnostics. Then as we know, India is one of the thickly populated country, and to meet the demands of the increasing population, food production is very, very important. So we need to increase the food production. So and if we stick on to the old conventional method of food production, I think definitely we are not going to meet the needs of the demand. So nowadays, through the concepts of biotechnology, genetically modified crops, even genetically modified animals have been developed. So genetically modified crops for agriculture is one such application in the field of biotechnology. Then processed food. I think now all of us know For example, you might have come across, we have one very important center in Mysore called CFTRI, where they do the very important technique called processing the food, which can remain fresh without being spoiled for many days. I think all of us know during the Kargil war, the most of the food items that were prepared in CFTRI were sent for the Kargil soldiers. So imagine at that point of time where the soldiers are fighting against the enemies, and imagine the need for the food is so very important at that point of time, and giving them the right food and storing the food for a longer time is very, very important. So that challenge is met by the processing food. I think nowadays, particularly in market also, we might have come across, like there are many food which are being developed through various processes of processing, so that it will remain fresh and it will not get spoiled. And not only that, the nutrient value of the food is retained as it is. That is very, very important. Even if the food is stored for a longer time, the nutrient values should not be missed out. So all the nutrient values should be retained in the food even after processing. Yes, of course, we all believe in having the fresh food, because fresh food, all the nutrients will be there and that will go into our body. But even the processed food, like for example, we have come across where many a food can be stored in the refrigerator for many a days and used again and again, where the nutritive value will not be destroyed and it will be retained. So that is one very important application of this processed food. Then bioremediation. Yes, of course, I think all of us know the technology that we have come across, like biomedical, we call it as biomedical. So there are different types of instruments that are used, maybe for X-ray, for endoscopy. So all these instruments are developed with the technology and it has wide applications. So now everything is possible in the field of medicine. So I think that is the reason why even there is an increase in human population, because of the good medical facilities that are provided to human mankind. So all those facilities is because of the development that is made in the field of science and technology. So there are a good number of instruments which are developed to diagnose the disease, to treat the disease, and to give proper medications for the disease. And that is all because of the wide applications of biotechnology to these various fields. Then waste treatment, very, very important. Imagine if the sewage is let off into the water bodies without being treated, then definitely it is going to cause pollution. So before the sewage is let off into the water body, it is treated. So for example, like we use, I think you might have come across when there is an oil spill. So the crude oil that is developed on the surface of the water body is definitely going to prove toxic, and it is going to kill many aquatic animals. So there are technologies which has been developed to eliminate the toxic crude oil that is developed on the surface of the water, thereby protecting the aquatic animals, particularly the fishes. So waste treatment is very, very important. So before it is let off into the nature, so it has to be treated, and for that very important treatment, again, biotechnology plays a very great role. Imagine if the waste is not treated properly. Like for example, we have this garbage and even the paper waste. So there are many a type of waste that are produced in everyday life. So for example, the medical waste, so hospital waste. So all these waste need to be treated before they are let off into the nature. So for all that treatment, the technology, like we have these incinerators, then we have autoclave machines. Like for example, in the field of medicine, sterilization is very, very important. So if before operation or before surgery, all the equipments that are used for the surgery, for the process, need to be sterilized. So there is a different technology now. Like in those days, they were using autoclave machines, boiling. I think we might have come across in ancient time, like in the later days, like we seen the syringe was boiled before it is used for the next patient. But gone are those days. Now we have this disposable needle, disposable syringes. So like as we go day by day, the technology is improving and we are benefited by many ways by this applications of biotechnology, right? One such is waste treatment, and next is energy production, very, very important, right? So there are many means of producing more energy. As you know, this energy is utilized for various processes, and that is all about the applications of biotechnology. So here you can see what are the applications of biotechnology? Bioinformatics. What is informatics? Bioinformatics, application of information science in the field of biology. Imagine the huge data that is collected need to be stored and preserved. So the technology, they use the technology of information science or computer science in storing the huge data, and we can retrieve back the data whenever we need. So that is about the bioinformatics. Then proteomics and genomics. As we said, proteomics and genomics, now the whole body is nothing but made up of proteins. So you can alter the protein structure and produce a desired characters. That is what you can change the gene structure and produce the character of your desire. So that is been possible in the field of proteomics and genomics. Plant agriculture and crop improvement. So when we have gone for the good old method of conventional methods, the crop improvement was done, but not to such an extent where the yield was not so good. But now with the improvement of the technology that is applied in the field of agriculture, so there is a vast increase in crop production. So particularly in plant agriculture and recombinant DNA technology, rDNA technology. As we said, we can manipulate the genes and produce the desired characters. That is what is being done. So with the, as you have already studied in the previous session, the applications of the recombinant DNA technology by using vectors like plasmids. Then healthcare and pharmaceuticals. Now there is medicine available for almost all types of diseases. So we need not get panicked, because imagine in those days, people need to struggle to get medicines. But now I think pharmaceutical shops are round the clock open 24/7, where the medicines are available, and I think even the healthcare. So particularly we must be very much blessed to be born and brought up in India, because the healthcare and the health facilities what we are getting in India is so very good that even the there is a treatment for every person in India. So that is very important thing. So we have a better healthcare services, and we have pharmaceuticals which are open round the clock to provide medicines to the needy. Then another is medical diagnosis. Very important is many people suffer from various diseases. Treating the diseases is very, very important. So medical diagnosis, as I said, now the technology has improved to such a great extent that even diagnosing has become so very easy, and the proper medication and proper treatment can be given. As I said, a doctor has to diagnose the disease, then only proper treatment or medication can be done. So with that application of biotechnology, medical diagnosis has become so very easy. Then fermentation technology. I think all of us know technology has wide application in industries, maybe in the brewing industries, right? So making of wine, beer, etc. So the fermentation technology has improved so much that we need not go back to the good old methods. Like in olden days, in those days, the fermentation process was done in a very crude method, where they used to bury the grapes put the grapes in a barrel and bury it in the soil. So all that was the crude method. Now the technology has improved, where they use the brewer's yeast to bring about the process of fermentation. Then improvement in food technology, as of course I said, may it be the processing of food or maintenance of food, maintaining the nutritive value of food, all that is being done in the field of biotechnology. Environmental and energy management, very, very important. As we know, as being human beings, as being the part and parcel of this beautiful environment, so it is our bound duty to protect and conserve. So there are many technologies now. I think, for example, like collection of the garbage, may it be cleaning of the environment, all that has been done. Many technologies has been used to keep the environment clean and tidy. Then animal breeding agriculture. So we can produce genetically modified organisms, where we can, for example, like cattle, we can breed the cattle for two very important purposes, maybe for the milch breed and for the draught breed. Like for example, even the poultry birds are reared for their layers as well as for broilers. So you can improve their quality of the flesh or maybe the layers, so that by applying the techniques of biotechnology, then bioinformatics. So these are all the different types of applications of biotechnology. And as we know, biotechnology deals with what? Industrial scale production of pharmaceuticals and biologicals using genetically modified microbes like fungi, plants, and animals. So these are all the different applications of biotechnology: therapeutics, diagnosis, genetically modified crops for agriculture, processed food, bioremediation, waste treatment, and energy production. What are the three critical research areas of biotechnology? So one is providing the best catalyst in the term of improved microbes or pure enzyme, creating optimal conditions through engineering for a catalyst to act, downstream processing technologies to purify the protein or organic acids, compounds. So the three very important critical research areas of biotechnology is what? Providing the best catalyst in the form of improved organisms, usually a micro or pure enzyme. Second one, creating optimal conditions through engineering for a catalyst to act. Downstream processing technologies to purify the protein, organic compounds. So all these three are the very, very important critical areas of biotechnology. I think all of us know Green Revolution, which was put across by a very famous scientist called Dr. G. Swaminathan, who is man behind this Green Revolution. So we have, and this is a program which was launched in 1960 to boost crop production with the high yielding crop varieties. And this Green Revolution was achieved by the use of artificial fertilizers, pesticides, and high yielding compounds. But as we all know that continuous use of artificial fertilizers and pesticides is going to cause soil pollution, and it is going to decrease the soil fertility, and it makes the soil lose its fertility by decreasing the humus content in the soil. So agrochemicals are often, and we know that the agrochemicals that are used by the farmers are too very expensive, and it is required to go for an alternate. So what is the alternate means? That going for the genetically modified organism, that is GMO, genetically modified organisms. So applications of biotechnology in agriculture. See here you can see in the beautiful picture the scientist working out on this apple. That means you can genetically alter an organ, may it be a plant or an animal. So the applications of biotechnology in agriculture. First is agrochemical based agriculture, then organic agriculture, then genetically engineered crop based agriculture. I think all of us know now we are going back to the good old method of using organic manure, because we know continuous use of artificial fertilizers, chemical fertilizers is definitely going to pose a threat to the health of human mankind, because all these chemicals get incorporated in the soil and then in the plants, and when we eat such plants, definitely it is going to pose a threat to the health of human mankind. So we are going back to the good old method of using organic manure or organic agriculture. So agrochemical based agriculture, then using of genetically engineered crop based agriculture, like high percentage of food crops such as maize, rice, sugarcane, corn, soya bean, all have been developed through a technology called genetically modified organisms, right? So what are the limitations of earlier Green Revolution? As I said, Green Revolution, which was launched in 1960, was mainly to produce high yield crop by using artificial fertilizers, etc. But there are certain limitations for the earlier Green Revolution. So what are the limitations? The agrochemicals cause soil and water pollution and reduce the yield in long run. So in the coming days, if the soil gets depleted, then definitely the soil fertility gets depleted, and in a long way to go, definitely it is going to reduce the yield of the crops. So we need to go for more for organic manure than going for the chemical fertilizers. So the agrochemicals cause soil and water pollution and reduce the yield in a long run. They are expensive for the farmers. Yes, the organic manure, what we call it as the agrochemical based agriculture, when they use, like we have the expensive fertilizers which may not be available for the farmers, may not be at the reach of the farmers. So they are expensive for the farmers. Further, increase in the yield of existing crops by the conventional method is not possible. So now going back for example, I think all of us know farmers who are the backbone of our country are working so hard in the field. To the very important purpose of them working in the field is to produce more food grains. So the quality and the quantity of the food grains matters a lot for the farmers. And in that case, like if we stick on to the good old conventional methods, maybe will not be able to produce that amount of yield of crops. So we cannot stick on to the conventional method. We need to go for the improvised technology of crop cultivation. So applications of biotechnology in agriculture, that is agrochemical based agriculture, then organic agriculture, then genetically engineered crop based agriculture, high percentage of food crops such as maize, rice, sugarcane, corn, soya, etc. Then the agrochemicals cause soil and water pollution and reduce the yield in long run. They are expensive for the farmers. Further increase in the yield of existing crops by the conventional method is not possible. Then genetically modified organism. What do you mean by, as I said, you can genetically modify an organism. For example, like, you can alter the gene structure for a better purpose. So such organisms are called as genetically modified. Or for example, here you can see organic and this is genetically modified apple. So we prefer to have more of genetically modified organism, right? Or an organic product. So here you can see the poultry birds, where here also in animals you can genetically modified animals and genetically modified plants. So what is genetically modified organisms, or short form is GMO? Plants, bacteria, fungi and animals whose genes have been altered by manipulation are called as genetically modified organism. Like for example, we use a word called genetic engineering. Manipulation of genes is called as what? You can play with genes. You can alter the gene structure to your desire and produce a product of your desire. So that is what is being done in genetic engineering. So what do you mean by genetically modified organism? Like plants, bacteria, fungi and animals whose genes have been altered by manipulation are called genetically modified organisms. So uses of genetically modified plants. I think, as I said, the only solution right now is to go for genetically modified organisms, may it be a plant or an animal. So GM, or for example, like if you produce a plant, genetically modified plant, which is disease resistant, pest resistant, then we need not go for pesticides, insecticides, and also you can retain the nutritive value of that particular plant for a longer time. So all these are the advantages of genetically modified organisms. So GMO are used to make the crops more tolerant to abiotic stresses. Yes, as we know, the plants or the crops are subjected to various stressful climatic conditions. So they must have the capacity to bear the stressful climatic conditions. So when you develop a crop or a plant, which is able to tolerate the stressful conditions, then definitely it is going to grow in a better way. So like drought, then even the salt concentration. Then it reduces the dependency on chemical pesticides, pest-resistant crops. So instead of spraying pesticides and insecticides, you can avoid, when you develop a plant which is naturally pest-resistant and insect-resistant. As you know, pests and insects are a threat to the crop. And definitely the farmers are facing a lot of problem with this pests. It is very difficult to avoid this pest, and sometimes even the whole crop gets destroyed because of this pest. So when you produce a genetically modified plant which is resistant to pests as well as to the insects, and then that will be a more great advantage to the farmers and for the crops to develop. And it helps to reduce post-harvest losses also. Very, very important. Post-harvesting is very important. Now, how do we retain the food crops for a longer time without being destroyed? I think many a times we have come across the food grains get destroyed after some time when they are stored for a longer time. So when you develop such a crop where even the post-harvest losses can be reduced, so that will be again a great advantage to the farmers and for the crops. and for the crops to be retained for a longer time. Then it increases the efficiency of mineral usage by plants. As we know, as we already know, minerals are very much, they are the prime requirements for the growth, development, and for the reproduction process. So particularly the genetically modified organisms will have are more efficient in absorbing more mineral nutrients and thereby developing more growth. Then it enhances the nutritional value of food. For example, the rice that is developed will have, as we know, which is rich in vitamin A. As you know, vitamin A is very much a very important vitamin for the eye, particularly for the maintenance of the good vision of the eye, and vitamin A enriched rice. So it enhances the nutritional value of food also. Then it is used to create tailor-made plants. So like whatever type of plants you want, you can develop. So that is what is being done in genetically modified organisms. So what are genetically modified organisms? Plants, bacteria, fungi, and animals whose genes have been altered by manipulation are called genetically modified organisms. So what are the uses of genetically modified plants? GMO are used to make the crops more tolerant to abiotic stresses like cold, heat, drought, and salt concentration of the soil. It reduces the dependency on chemical pesticides, that is pest-resistant crops. It helps to reduce post-harvest losses. It increases the efficiency of mineral usage by plants. It enhances nutritional value of food, thereby enriching, like for example, in rice, vitamin A. Then it is used to create tailor-made plants. Moving on to the use of tailor-made plants. They are used to supply alternative resources to industries in the form of starches, fuels, and pharmaceuticals. So what do you mean by tailor-made plants? That which will give the alternate resource to industries in the form of starches, fuels, and pharmaceuticals. So BT cotton. Here you can see the BT cotton. Right? BT stands for what? Bacillus thuringiensis. So BT stands, it's a bacteria called bacterium from which the genes are isolated. So what is this BT cotton? The expansion of BT cotton is Bacillus thuringiensis cotton. What is the name? What is the expansion for BT cotton? Bacillus thuringiensis cotton. So what is BT cotton? It is a transgenic plant, genetically modified plant. Cotton is a very important commercial crop where, the fibers of cotton are used for making clothes and for various textile industries. So it's a very, very important commercial crop which needs to be protected from the insects or the pests. So it is a transgenic. So BT cotton is what? It is a genetically modified cotton plant which has BT genes. What are the BT genes? Bacillus thuringiensis isolated from soil bacterium. So Bacillus thuringiensis is the bacterium from which BT genes are isolated. So what is the use of tailor-made plants? They are used to supply alternative resources to industries in the form of starches, fuels, and pharmaceuticals. BT cotton, what is the expansion of BT cotton? The expansion of BT cotton is Bacillus thuringiensis cotton. Then BT cotton, how do we define it? It is a transgenic plant. What do you mean by transgenic? Genetically modified plant which has BT genes isolated from soil bacterium. So Bacillus thuringiensis is the bacterium from which BT genes are isolated. Hope you have understood all the concepts what I have explained in this first session of this chapter called Biotechnology and its Applications. So I'll be back in the coming session with some more interesting concepts of this chapter called BT toxins and the function of cry proteins, crystal proteins. We use the word called crystal proteins in the coming session. So till then, goodbye and thank you.